You can strive to address these changes through your own individual platforms. So whether it's a blog or your social media, detail your opinion along with tangible ways to make the most of it. We must become focused on doing what must be done to ensure growth and profitability in the future, which is not going to be an easy road for us. So we really need to, one, be leaders. My next point is be innovators. And this is a quote from Steve Jobs, which some people would consider one of the greatest innovators of all times, if you're a big Apple lover. And he says, innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. Innovation is about turning a vision into new products or services. I think that ultimately that is true, but I also do think that it's also more about, you know, reimagining things that already exist already. The characteristics of a great innovator and a great company is they see a space that others do not. They don't just listen to what people tell them. They actually invent something new, something that you didn't know that you needed. But the moment you see it, you say, ah, I must have that. Innovators understand innovation never happens in vacuum. They value, build, and sustain active, vibrant. So instead of see it as an opportunity to identify strengths and weaknesses. Oops. If we can go to the next slide, which is be collaborators. Be collaborators. If you know me, and many people that if you're around me a lot, you'll hear me say the same. Collaboration is a powerful tool for business owners, and it's a lot of the work that I also do together, private and public sector partnerships, and, you know, developing out that. So collaboration is such a powerful tool as a business owner, regardless of the type and the size of your business. It is the connections that you form with others and the different ways you collaborate with those people you form connections with that will help you to grow your business in travel. Being successful in business consistently make connections and form alliances would dwindle if you continued to network and sell to the same group of people over and over again. While every contact you make may not result in a collaboration, every time you reach out to someone to explore the possibility, you are expanding your network. And Dein just recently mentioned that we collaborated initially on the Akwaaba conference in Nigeria last year. What she forgot to mention is that we actually connected via social media probably about 2 to 3 years prior to that, you know, so it might not happen immediately. And it was just a random connection that we found each other on social media, and result, we had that amazing collaboration that happened last year. The next one is to be digital disruptors. So don't be fooled by the term disruption. People always get a bit scared when they hear the word disruption. Many people misinterpret this as meaning that is a process of, as a negative process, basically. But in reality, it is only a negative force for those who choose to ignore it or try to fight it. Those who embrace it often find that it can benefit their business in various ways, contributing to their success. This panel today are much more savvy than previous generations. And the way in which people use and interact with technology has definitely changed enormously in a very short period of time. And I think within the last few months, it's even skyrocketed. So there is a new breed of entrepreneurs who are very adept at understanding the potential of digital disruption and inventing new services. So it's really how can we target and get those younger individuals into our organizations or into our travel businesses so that they can utilize their skills to help drive our businesses. I mean, for young people, your relationship right now with digital technologies can be the first to adopt new digital technologies, the TikToks, the Instagram, and you absorb these things really quickly. So it's important that you think now, how can I utilize it from a more personal standpoint to utilizing it within my business to share those authentic stories about Africa. So there's tremendous opportunity here because digital offers potential for you to really place. What is important, and one thing that I will know, is training and awareness raising, as well as mentorship, to really help to drive that change. And lastly, my fifth point is be distinctly different. It sounds easy, I know, but for me, it's usually one of the most challenging parts of when I'm working with a brand to help them to achieve differentiation. Carving out that unique niche in the market, particularly in today's very competitive marketplace, being distinctly different can be a challenge, but it is absolutely essential for your business success. One of the things that I always tell my clients, always do, is to consider how unique your position is in a longer term, and always, and if 2020 has taught us nothing, but always, but ready for change. Every brand needs to be on top of trends in their industry, knowing what the customers want, not just now, but what they want in the future. An identity is only good if it resonates with your customers, and a story is only of you. So be ready to offer something new and exciting, staying relevant to your target audience. And the last slide, it says, one of my favorite quotes, there is exactly as much opportunity in the world as you are willing to work for. Thank you, guys.
Wow, thank you so much, Jamie-Lee. She's delivered brilliantly with so many key pointers for us to take home. She's given us 5 key points on that keynote, and she's charged us basically as young people in the tourism industry to be leaders, be innovators, be collaborators, be disruptors, and be distinctly different. I know it all sounds like, oh, Jamie-Lee is saying this because she's an expert, and how do we, take this on? But yeah, it's a great charge, and I believe that before we leave this conference, we'll have, more power and more push to actually be these things and be more basically for our industry to grow and for tourism to grow in Africa. We'll be moving straight into the panel discussions. We've noticed that for most people, almost everybody who's joined the call, your name handles or something like that on your screen. It would be nice if we can rename ourselves. So while the discussion is going on, I know who is coming on, and I'm able to address you as you appear. So can we just do the rename while we continue? So we'll be having the discussions now, and we would love to start with Sam Adeleke. Sam is the CEO of Travel with Sam from Nigeria. I know with us and in the environment we're faced with, we've had to navigate around so many challenges coupled with COVID and all of that. I would love for the panel and for every member of the panel now to discuss briefly, let's discuss some of these challenges. Let's discuss some of pending crisis, some of the things that has impeded our growth, basically, and especially as young people in tourism. And I would love for you, Sam, to kindly share with us some of these challenges. And then, you know, there's a saying that says you can't really know where you're going until you know where you're coming from. So it's good for us to rub minds on some of these problems and have this platform present themselves, and then we can, you know, eventually have our opinions on some of the solutions and the way forward. So can we have you please, Sam?
Everyone, great to be here. My name is Sam Adeleke, just like Dana has introduced me. So I have a couple of thoughts to share regarding the problems and the issues that youths are facing in growing tourism. Because Jamie-Lee has, you know, stated the obvious, but I have quite a number of thoughts to share. The first is activism. In the course of my 6 years in the industry and the course of working with leaders and attending events and trying to grow, you know, my business, I discovered that lots of people in our generation condemn, like to say, oh, we are here again for a talk show. What is this going to bring at the end of the day? We just talk. And I do tell these friends and colleagues of mine that, see, we cannot grow an industry out of resentment and bitterness. You either choose to be an advocate or build a business. Because I tell them, now you are this summits, at these tourism events, the ministers are here, the commissioners are here, the movers and shakers are here. Do you have a proposal designed to submit? Do you have a business plan? Where have you worked? What have you done? Don't just come. If you are saying you're a travel activist, fine, I agree. But don't say you have a company, you're trying to build a business, and you are coming with an activism kind of thing. Pick a struggle. So I do encourage and challenge my colleagues in this generation. I say, for us to grow to the next level, we must choose, because we want to make money. You know, I appreciate the travel writers, the journalists, the media guys. I also do media, but I'm trying to see a situation whereby we have more travel professionals who are not broke. I say this because, you know, because I also lead the Travel Massive chapter in Nigeria, and a lot of people come to us. Do you mind if you can help with some cash and all that? You know, our money is tied with airlines and broken spirit and all that. And I do not want our industry to have that reputation of, oh, travel agents are poor, they cannot, you know, make ends meet. I'm willing to go beyond being an activist and condemning everyone who has become a veteran, so to speak. So that's first. Choose a struggle, activism or building a business. That's one. The second is politics. It is important that we get our politics right, and that is getting into the mainstream of things. If a country gets its politics right, they will get everything right. And all politics alone, my colleagues are saying, what is the politics of the states you are residing in? Even the country, because Africa is not a country. You know, all politics are local. And or the director or the tourism board or the Calabar Commission director will respond to you. It depends from the way you respond to somebody from that town or somebody who is being mentored by a friend who he has known for 20 years. You know, we are so, we feel we are entitled because you say you own a travel company. Who knows you? What is your name? What have you done? Even if they do, does that mean I will give you audience? A lot of people asking for my attention. So it's about emotional intelligence. It's about understanding the language of politics. It's about understanding who to speak to, what's the word now? Sing their praises, so to speak. Because sometimes people say, hey, I don't want to do eye service. I don't want to sound like I'm ass licking. Hello, I'm sorry. You have to do some things in order to get the attention you want, because these are not probably information for, this is information for those who do not intend to really get to the scheme of things. Because I'm talking about growth right now. If you want to just grow your own personal business, it's fine. But if you want to scale and get into the mainstream of things, go into those who are really influencing policy and the people who are ensuring that the visa regimes is favorable to your clients coming to the country, then you should understand how they roll. That's two. Number three is this overused cliche called collaboration. I'm shaking some tables this morning, but it's okay. See, I like to collaborate. I like to work with people, you know. I'm going to give me a number of somebody and all that. But I've had younger people wanting to come into the industry and telling me, Sam, I like you, I like what you have done so much. I would like to collaborate with you. And I say, okay, then next thing. So I'm planning this, I'm thinking of doing a tour to this. Okay, so how do we do it? Hello, excuse me, you're asking me how you do it. Have you done your own homework? You're trying to simply ride on my own name, or my own goodwill, or my own competence, or my own experience, when you've not even hit the streets. So I do tell my colleagues that, see, we should not use and confuse collaboration for laziness. It's important that the reason why I'll collaborate with you simply because you have something to offer. I remember when I started out in the industry in 2014, and Mr. Ikechi, I remember I buzzed him there. I told him I wanted him to go do some work across Nigerian states to get some adverts for the company I was working for, the travel company I was working for then. Asked for some contact. He said, Sam, he used a very solid phrase for me that made me feel like, okay, I think this man will not give me this contact. He wants me to travel there and go and experience what it feels like to build your reputation and your competence in this industry. And I'm thankful that he didn't give me that contact then, because then I could understand what it means to travel Nigerian roads, what it means to go wait at the office of a permanent secretary at the Ministry of Tourism in Nasarawa State, what it means to really write documents in the language that people will understand. Because, see, let us stop collaborating with people who we will make rendered so lazy that they will not even be able to help themselves. You must be ready to make mistakes. You must be ready to lose money. You must be ready to offend people. You must be ready to pay for a training that will make you competent for the job you want to do. Don't say I want to collaborate simply because I simply don't want to do the work. Okay, yes, you have done this well. Then I'm also trying to no. Walk the streets, pay your dues. That's number three. Of course. Now, I'm saying this for those who are using collaboration as an excuse not to do the work. If you understand.
You have 1 minute.
1 more minute. So let me just take one more point. I'll probably come back later.
Thank you.
The next one is media and personal branding. You see, it's important that we understand that tourism is show business. You can't say you're a travel person and you don't look good. You don't dress well. Your DP is shabby. Your phone is something with cameras that are not sharp. Your website is whack and all over the place. And also you're trying to associate with. You should understand the power of the fact that people want to relate and identify with you because you're supposed to be a presenter. You are the host. You are the one bringing people to the destination and giving them a good time. You're an hospitality consultant. So because we understand that is the elephant in the room. That one is a long-term project. But we, right now, we are the ones who must understand the power of your individuality. You have a voice. You have a story. You have a background. You have something that people want to hear. And they will only hear it if your perception and image is comparable to people of other industries. And that is why many people come into our industry and they are wondering that why is a familiar going to Obudu and coming back and writing, doing a thread on Twitter has making people angry. Hello? It's because he has been able to build his personal brand over time and develop followerships. How many of our How many of us have as much as 8,000, 10,000, 50,000 followers on Twitter that can generate buzz when we tweet something? Okay, let me stop here for now. Thank you very much.
we did warn everybody at the beginning of this discussion that unlike, you know, other settings like the MICE discussion yesterday, this is the youth panel. So expect the unexpected. Sam, as you know, I think he has broken 2 legs of the table. I'm hoping the table I'm on now won't fall completely. So thank you so much for your submission, Sam. Really brilliant. Be ready to do the work. And so many other powerful points he has dropped there. So we'll move away from West Africa quickly, and I would love to call on Mel Tlhapi. I beg your pardon. Mel is the CEO of Mel Prod South Africa, and she would also be sharing with us, maybe from a more South African point of view, and we'd love to hear from you, Mel. Thank you.
Hi, Dein. Thank you so very much, guys. I have to say, you know, I come from the land of the beautiful home of the Jerusalem dance. So it would have been nice to just hear the Jerusalem song playing.
DJ, give it to us.
You know, but I have to also just give props to the organizers as well. At the beginning, the video that played, the song that plays sends me straight back to 2010 when South Africa was hosting the 2010 World Cup, and boy, did we have a good time. You know, I was kind of young then, but hey, I think that's when the industry started booming and we all expected everything. But yeah, thank you so much to the host. That really took me back, and it just set the pace for me to just, you know, get into the crux of the things. You know, I'm really at the peak of my youth years. I'm 35 years old. Don't ask any questions, I won't lie. It's just my mommy's skin. But I really do appreciate the opportunity that I've been given by the team in Nigeria to share this platform with everybody, given the fact that I've been at the peak. I've been in the industry now for about 8 years now. I started at a very young age, but I've learned so much, you know, and I've seen a lot of things happening. The challenges in the industry did not begin when the COVID-19 pandemic struck the globe. The challenges started ages ago and were never really addressed. They were swept under the carpet. Many of my colleagues in the industry, especially SMMEs, have been at the forefront of the battle of inequality in the industry. We saw the fruits of this battle clearly during the hard lockdowns in our country and other countries worldwide. I have to say that I was very disappointed that it took a global pandemic to hang our laundry for the people to see how gruesome the industry really is, to the people that make the industry what it is. I am living proof of this. I am a woman. I think I'm still young. I was a self-employed tour operator until I became a mother of 4. And a woman of one show, a one-woman show, they used to call it in the industry. All of that has gone down the drain, and not because I was not making money, but because there was just no growth in the industry. I got tired of being called an SMME and generating business to the so-called big corporates. Young people, we come into the industry with vigor, with excitement, innovations, like Jamie-Lee said, to exhilarate the offerings that the industry offers. I mean, without the internet currently, we wouldn't be communicating, we wouldn't be having this conference. But there are some things that we need to understand about the industry, that travel did not start today. It did not start yesterday, and it has never changed. Travel has always been travel. And there's 3 pillars that really make the industry, and that is transport, accommodation, and food. I mean, if you look at it, if there was no transport, we would not be able to commute around. If there was no accommodation, we wouldn't have places where we sleep. If there was no food, we wouldn't have something to feed ourselves so that we can keep up the energy with, we can keep up with our tours and everything like that. But question is, how many of us young people actually have ownership to these tangible facets that contribute to the industry as young people? You know, that's the biggest question that I have. Yes, of course, we have Mother Nature. Without her, we would not have any landscapes, any valleys, any oceans, any animals, let alone the people that support the industry. The service providers who have no ownership of tangible products are always at the bottom of the food chain. Yet we are the ones that make the industry and add value to the economies worldwide. Even the government recognizes how much the industry is actually contributing. We heard it at the MICE conference yesterday, how much the industry is contributing to the economies. But the people that really work hard are the people that don't make the money. We were we were hard hit during all of, when the lockdown happens. And all of the major brands were able to stick it out longer. We speak about recovery plans post-COVID. Question is, who are the beneficiaries of the recovery plans that are being put together by policymakers? Who are the policies, who are the policymakers? The answer is simple. It is the people who feel a sense of entitlement to this industry, forgetting those people that build the industry with their bare hands. Just in South Africa, I saw so many businesses go under, and these were all youth owned. Why? Businesses must have a continuity management plan. Yet so many businesses were gunning for the tourism relief fund. Substantial numbers of these businesses that applied for these are running worthy to have businesses. What are happening to the programs that the governments have in place to make our businesses actually go bigger and sustain, create jobs and all of that? It means that there is a disconnect. The content of these programs, I really do not believe that are worthy of having. It is a question. I think that we need to start questioning the policies that are being made. We need to be part of the policies that are being made so that we know who we are catering for. The Generation X tourism market is a big market, but the old people, sorry, I have to use old because the guys sit in their office and they don't go on the ground with us. They don't understand what Generation X is. They don't understand what young people are. They are vibrant. They are exuberant. They're adventurous. They want to travel. Is the industry ready for this? I question myself as well. Am I ready to evolve from the old days of doing things to the new norm? Are our businesses ready to cater for a market that will sustain this tourism industry for years to come? Are we really ready? Can we make the policies? Can the government start opening their doors so that young people are contributing to these policies? Can we start knocking on your doors? So for me, those are the biggest challenges that I'm baffled that we are concentrating on recovering the industry, yet there are so many things that are within the industry that still needs to be sorted out, and we're sweeping them under the carpet. Can we address these issues so that the big elephant in the room is kicked out and we are able to really offer authentic, beautiful experiences? I mean, the people that we're servicing, they work hard for their money. They have a fear of traveling with service providers today because they don't trust us anymore. We don't give them experiences. We don't give them services, but we are actually pricing for greed. But are we offering quality? Can we fix the problems within the industry so that we can offer a good experience to the people who really work hard for their money? And we then can say we are recovering the industry.
Thank you very much, Mel. Thank you. She's left a big question for us. I'm not going to answer it. I think everybody should take time to reflect on that. And let's, get some of these practical steps. Are we really ready? Are we ready to take responsibilities, and some of those important questions that need to be asked and need to be answered as well. So let's move quickly to we'll move straight to Namibia, and we'll hear from Carmen Imbili. Carmen is representing us from Exceptional Tourism Services, and she'll just share with us some of our thoughts as well. Carmen, please. Thank you.
Good afternoon, guys. As Dein mentioned, my name is Carmen.
Apologies, Carmen. We'll just take this video and then we'll continue.
All right.
Seven Wonders Abuja City Mega Tour. Asanke Hills, the center point of Nigeria. We just arrived and we're hiking up the hill.
Jerusalem,
So right here we are at the center of Nigeria, on top of
I can see you, Mel.
Jerusalem, Ikayalami, Ilonoloze, Uhambenami, Zumangishilana, Daoyami, Ayulana, Soami, Aulana, Ilonoloze, Daoyami, Ayulana, Soami, Aulana, Ilonoloze,
Thank you very much for that brilliant video. I can see Mel, I can see Carmen, everybody's dancing. That's the power of the youth. That's what our experience is, and some of the important bits we're trying to discuss on this panel today. It's amazing what we do when we come together. So over to you, Carmen.
All right. So as I was saying, I was introducing myself. My name is Carmen Imbili, and I'm representing Exceptional Tourism Services. So it's a family business owned by my mother and I, and we're based in Namibia. So I'm just going to dive straight into the problems that we've identified post-COVID. And as we're all aware, that the COVID-19 virus has affected international trade and travel tremendously. And the small and medium enterprises, we are one of them. We were affected greatly. So we're still trying to figure out what exactly we should do, just to survive this new normal. Now, the tourism sector in Namibia, it plays a massive role towards the country's economy. And it's one of the three pillars, followed by mining and fishing. So thousands of jobs were lost when the tourism industry came to an abrupt halt. Every week, companies always announce retrenchment or salary cuts, and lives changed drastically. The tourism sector in Namibia provided jobs to almost plus minus 47,000 people, just in Namibia alone, and with all sorts of skills. So financial hardships hit us really, really bad. And I just don't want to focus on the losses of jobs, but also our conservancies were hit. Namibia's wildlife reserves, also known as conservancies, took a major hit during this pandemic, and its future is far from certain. Namibia has 86 communal conservancies, which are run by locals, by local residents, and highly appreciated by tourists. Communal conservancies play an important role in sustaining development, meaning people who live on this land are granted rights for harvesting meat, hunting, based on regulation and quotas, that is. Now, the question is that we ask ourselves, or that I'm asking myself and Namibians and the entire African continent, is that how do we reignite traveling demand? How do we re-engineer ourselves as a continent? So that will be it from me, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Indeed, we know that across Africa, Namibia, Nigeria, South Africa, COVID has hit us really hard. It has hit the tourism industry really hard. A lot of people have lost their jobs. A lot of companies, like Mel highlighted, have also been out of business. And it's been a very surprising one that nobody planned for. But we're here now, and we should be discussing the way forward generally. So thank you very much for that, Carmen. Next, we would have Chiamaka Obuekwe. She's the CEO of Social Prefectors. I'm sure everybody knows her as Social Prefect. So she will also be sharing with us from Nigeria some of these challenges and how our own thoughts about this topic today. Thank you. Chiamaka, please.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. It's such an honor to be here. My name is Chiamaka Obuekwe. I'm the founder of Social Prefectors. We're a Nigerian-based tour operating company, and we are famous for pioneering the group millennial tourism in Nigeria. Basically what that means is in 2015, we didn't really have a lot of young people coming together to explore, to go to places, and people packaging those tours for them. And then we came into the market, and that was like our unique selling point. And now we have a lot of people doing millennial group tourism, and it's just fantastic because we have more of the youth population in Nigeria. And yeah, the youth really have a lot to do in pushing tourism, especially in this country. So I'm going to talk about Nigeria majorly, and I'm going to bring some points about the problems of tourism in Nigeria. My focus is going to be on Nigeria, and I'm going to address both the government, the tour operators, and the citizens. Okay, so the first problem that I'm going to talk about is poor infrastructure and road network. So this is actually a very big deal, and this is addressed to the government. So Nigeria is currently suffering poor infrastructure when it comes to our tourism development, when it comes to like our tour attractions, the interesting places to go. So I've mentioned, okay, I've not mentioned earlier, but in previous like panels, I'm always passionate about the places that we have to explore in Nigeria. Nigeria has a lot of beautiful sites to see. We have waterfalls. We have over 20 waterfalls in Nigeria. We have Gurara Falls. We have Abokim Falls. We have the one in Enugu, Ahum Waterfalls. We have so many. Then we have this Mpape Crush Rock that was just newly discovered. We have Olumo Rock. We have beautiful hills. We have Idori Hills. We have beautiful sites. We have resorts. We have lovely beaches and resorts that, you know, can be pushed to the forefront to, you know, bring more tourism potentials into not breaking any tables. Sam is the ultimate table shaker. I'm not a table shaker. I'm only addressing the government when it comes to this poor infrastructure part. So basically, but the thing is, the road networks to get to those places are just terrible. Okay, let's look at Obudu, for example. Obudu is such a beautiful site. It's such an amazing site. And the natural hills, the mountains, like it seems like the clouds have come down to the mountains and you're just in heaven. And it's a beautiful natural site to behold. I think one of the best in Nigeria, one of the most popular. For those not in Nigeria, Obudu is located in South Nigeria, in Cross River State, in a community called Obudu. And it is called Obudu Mountain Resort. It's a very beautiful, you know, like resort that is mountainous, and it's just beautiful. It's out of this world. And but the road network to get there is something else. in the same state, Calabar, which is the capital of Cross River, which is supposed to be like the easiest to access, like Obudu, it takes you 8 hours to get there from Calabar. And that 8 hours is not necessarily a smooth journey. It is a really bumpy journey. And you ask yourself, why exactly? I mean, if we're talking of growing tourism, if we're talking of, pushing Nigeria to the forefront, if we're talking of developing tourism, we're not supposed to be looking at small things as small as road. Like the road is bumpy, there are some parts of the road that are almost like it's divided, there are so many gullies and so many, it's just terrible, and it's not really fun to get there. But when you get there, it's beautiful and it's amazing and it's a beautiful experience, but the journey to get there is something else. Then when we now talk about some other tour destinations, some other attractions we have, you talk about small facilities like having a good toilet there. We talked about this during the Nigeria 7 Wonders panel, and someone mentioned it, and it actually struck me that that's actually true. Like, a lot of destinations in Nigeria, a lot of tourist attractions don't even have a functioning toilet, and that is just wrong. That is bad. A lot of these tourist attractions, when you get there, in fact, let's talk about one in Erin-Ijesha. Up till today, I think from ages ago, maybe up to 15 years now, they're still working on the stairs to get there. So many times, Erin-Ijesha Waterfalls is a waterfall, and then it's located in Osun State in southwest Nigeria, and it has about 7 levels to the waterfall. But a lot of people usually stop at the 2nd level, and the reason why they normally stop at the 2nd level is simply because they're like getting to the other levels is just almost impossible. Like you have to climb, it's terrible. And up to today, they are still building the stairs, and they left some iron out. When you're building stairs in like a natural place, I don't really know the name to use to describe it, but I think it's some iron corrugated, oh my God, I need to know this name of this thing. Iron spikes are out and are very dangerous, and if anyone falls, it can actually be quite dangerous to the person, or it can injure the person, or permanently damage a part of someone's body or something like that. It's quite bad, and up to today they are still building it. So you have many destinations in Nigeria, but the question is infrastructure. And I put this to the government, like you need to build proper infrastructure. I don't think the citizens would come together and I put this to both state governments and federal government. This is definitely their work to do. And then now we move to the next point. And then the next point is lack of branding and promotion. So you have, let me give an example of the movie industry in Nigeria. So we all know Nollywood. Hey, Nollywood. I know a lot of you in other countries like Namibia, South Africa, Kenya, our Nollywood. We are the biggest after Hollywood, or is it after Bollywood? Okay, I think it's after Bollywood. We're the 3rd largest film industry in the world, and a lot of people watch our movies. And the thing is, Nollywood did not get support from the government. They all had to come together. So I'm putting this now to tour operators. This is not a table breaking. I'm not Sam, but this is just to tell all of us that we have to come together, to build the Nigerian tourism industry. I think it's like calling government all the time. There's only a certain level that the government can do. The government can repair, fix the roads, the government can build infrastructure, the government can make the tourist attractions of their different states look better. However, they cannot, promote, it's actually their job to promote the country as well. For example, we have Magical Kenya, we have Travel to SA, we have so many other countries we have Remarkable Rwanda, we have Incredible India, and so many other countries that promote their countries outside to other parts of the world. We have these adverts on CNN and on other foreign media, and they what they call it now, they advertise their countries to other parts of the world. And this is, the thing about advertising your country, it doesn't mean it's when everything is okay or when you don't have any security issues anymore that you now promote your country. You have to promote your country despite the challenges. okay, I know we have South Africans here, but we all know that in some parts of South Africa, just like in some parts of Nigeria, there are insecurity issues. However, they still promote their country widely. They invite bloggers and media people, and what are they called now, to their countries, come and see the country. So I think the tour operators in Nigeria have to come together under, I know we have different bodies, we have different associations. However, these different associations have to come together to promote the tourism industry, just like the way the movie industry did, and they are big now. And then the last issue I'm going to mention is the security challenge. And I think it has to do with all of us as citizens of Nigeria. So we all know that we have some security challenges in Nigeria. You know, people still go to countries like France. You remember when Kim Kardashian got robbed in Paris? So we're talking about Paris. Oh my God, that's like, France is a big country, and France is like one of the countries that a lot of people want to visit, or a lot of people want to go to Europe, they want to do a Euro tour. However, we don't see a lot of people coming to say that, oh, they want to come to Nigeria, they want to do a West African tour, and they want to, however, we have beautiful places too. And one of the reasons that they give as to why they don't want to come to Nigeria or maybe some other West African countries is insecurity challenges. However, these insecurity challenges are not, you know, like, we don't have the sole proprietorship of insecurity problems. There are insecurity challenges, like we have terrorists, and we have robbers, we have thieves in like so many other countries. In fact, in all the countries of the world, America is not necessarily safe. UK is not necessarily safe. France is not safe. South Africa is not. So like many of these countries are not safe, and Nigeria as well is not totally safe. So when they give that excuse, it really baffles me. And I think this is where we as Nigerians have to come together to correct the perception image of Nigeria. I know we cannot necessarily fix like the terrorism issue, but the way we can fix security challenges is by coming together and fixing our perception and image challenge. We have an image problem in Nigeria, and I know image is another point, but it's somehow linked to security. Like when people talk about only the insecurity, we as Nigerians have to tell them that there are other things to see in Nigeria, there are other things to do in Nigeria, there are other things that are great about this country, and it's a tourist destination, and that they should definitely come here and explore. So I've talked about three things: poor infrastructure and road networks, which our government has to definitely solve for us to have better experience with our tour attractions, the lack of branding and promotion, which we as tour operators and tourism enthusiasts have to come together, just like Nollywood did, to push our tourism industry to the forefront, and to make it, you know, what it is, to make it what we want it to be rather. And then also the security challenges, which is also linked to negative perception of Nigerians abroad, or negative perception of Nigeria abroad, which we all as citizens of Nigeria have to fix by telling good stories about this country. That's why we have social media now. Tell good stories about your country. I think we need to create a hashtag for Nigeria, just like there's magic. There's the one for South Africa, remarkable Rwanda. Seychelles is another world. For Nigeria, we have to have maybe great Nigeria, or great Nigeria, one Nigeria, or something like that. And then we have to push that to the world. Influencers, put that on your timeline. Influencers, put that on your feed. You know, talk about Nigeria in a positive light. Government also has to, you know, come and work with us young people, work with. I won't talk so much, but and I don't know.
I know it will be impossible to stop you because you've dropped some very, very important pointers. We'll come back again for the second round of the panel discussions, where we'll be discussing some solutions, how our own individual companies are navigating through some of these challenges, and how the youth can actually drive for tourism growth in Africa. So again, thank you, Chiamaka, for those wonderful submissions. They are noted. The chat room is open. Please keep the conversation and the discussions going, and please kindly rename yourself also on the chats, because it automatically names you Africa Youth Conference. So just rename yourself so we know who is speaking when we need to pick out some of the questions and answers. And yeah, so next, away from Nigeria and our many challenges, unfortunately to say, I would love to have Nayram. Nayram is the current Miss Tourism Ghana, and she will just be giving us a more Ghanaian perspective and highlighting some of these challenges that have already, that we are establishing, and then we can discuss and take the conversation from there to the way forward. So can we have you, Nayram, please? Queen Nayram, Miss Tourism Ghana. Can you unmute yourself, please? Can you unmute yourself? Ah, great. Yes,
hello, everyone.
Hear you.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Nayram Tay, representing Miss Tourism Ghana, and thank you for having me. I'll delve straight into the problems I have identified in Ghana, and the number one problem I identified in Ghana has to do with awareness. With Ghana, I've realized that we still haven't worked on our awareness and branding. Most of our tourists, we have very beautiful tourist attractions, be it natural or man-made tourist attractions. We have historical sites, we have waterfalls, mountains, very beautiful landscapes, but we are not putting in much effort to find ourselves on the tourism map. We just aren't selling our tourist attractions well enough. We have them, but we are not doing a good job with our branding and awareness. And then the second problem has to do with sustainability. When you go to most of the tourist sites in Ghana, they are beautiful, but then, as Chiamaka said, I will support her with the sustainability problem. You go and then some of the roads are bad. Even our popular tourist sites like the Kakum National Park with the canopy walkway, where everyone knows about, we haven't maintained the roads to the place. And so when getting access to these locations are very difficult. But then we all know that getting good access to tourist attractions are very important. We are not sustaining the tourist attractions and we are not making access to them easy. And then I'll move straight into investment and funds. In Ghana, I've realized that most of the youth, it's not like they don't have the funds to invest, but they don't feel safe to invest. We have young entrepreneurs who are looking for avenues to invest into, but then they don't feel safe to invest because they feel like, okay, we have this in Ghana, but then I don't see anybody making a good effort to hold them or to sustain them and to make them something profitable, something we can gain from, or to even put ourselves on the tourism map. So they don't feel safe to invest into the tourism sector, but it shouldn't be so because the tourism sector is one of the sectors that brings so much. And even in Ghana last year alone that we put in effort, tourism was one of the highest earners for the country. And so I believe that if much is put in place, we can get people to invest and be willing to release funds into the tourism sector. And then the last problem I'm going to talk about is human resource availability. It's not like we don't have the people. We have the people. We have unemployment associations. We have so many people. We have so many human resource available. We have the labor available. But the question is, do they have the skills? Are they educated? Are they being trained? Can they work in the tourism sector? No, we don't have that. So we need to just get people to improve upon their skills. Human resource is very important in the tourism sector because I believe the tourism sector is quite involving. It's people oriented. We need people to work in the sector. We have the people, but they don't have the skills. They lack the skills needed to work in the sector. So these are the few problems I identified in Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nayram. Oh, by the way, you look really lovely today. It's nice to see you in
Thank
your...
you.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing those points. She's mentioned awareness and branding, human resource. She's mentioned so many challenges, and we can see a trend here that most of the challenges that have been mentioned, regardless of the country and the destinations, they have some linkages. And these are some of the issues that we'll address in the second part of this panel discussion. So moving quickly, I'll go to Pauline. Pauline Marere, she's Miss Pan-African Queen from Zimbabwe. Would love for you to also share your thoughts with us, Pauline. Can we have you unmute yourself, Pauline? Okay, if Pauline is not ready, we'll take Anne from Kenya. Anne is a digital consultant at Rain Savvy Kenya. Anne, please, can we have you?
Hi everyone, my name is Anne Mwangi, and basically what I focus on is in helping and any tourism establishment in, what do I say, in taking part in the digital platform to ensure that they are selling their products online. Okay, I'll just delve into the general issues that I've found when it comes to tourism businesses, when it comes for them to be online. First of all, I've seen the problem when it comes to user-generated content. That is a very critical issue where we find people are not using the content that they themselves are having. Like, for example, when tour operators take people to travel in any given destination, when those people take photos, do you ask them to provide those photos for you so that you can use them as a marketing strategy when it comes to your business? Also, the other problem, how to use the digital platforms when it comes to our own businesses. There are things like keywords that when we, for example, if we are selling Kenya, we use the hashtag magical Kenya. And if in case you want to find anything that is in regards to Kenya, we look at, if you go online, search hashtag magical Kenya, you're going to find a lot of information when it comes to Kenya and its destination as a tourist attraction. The other thing that I've seen that is a bit of a problem, it comes not knowing your target audience. When we are targeting the youth to travel, we have to consider they are a bit of segmented. We have the students. We have to look at what the students are looking for. That is when, if you know your target audience is the student, you will be able to provide the correct information when it comes to the online platforms. The other segment that I've seen is youth who are parents. We're looking at destinations that are children friendly. In the current situation, when we are having the COVID-19 pandemic, we see that parents are being overwhelmed with having kids at home. They need to go out. As we have seen, the country is starting to open up. But where do we take these children? We need, as tour operators, we need to provide information that where can this target audience can take their kids. It is very important to provide information that is user-friendly to the target audience that you are having. The other thing is that when it comes to digital platform, we are not branding very well. We are finding that people are just out there to sell, but the digital platforms offer much more than just selling. We can be able to offer information. Like right now, we can really offer information on what is happening in our own countries. Like we can give information that the health safety measures that are being given by either the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Tourism. It's something that we can provide on our own website. The other thing is, how are we showcasing our own countries? How are we providing information for any potential person who is coming to our own country? Are we having correct information? The information that we're sending out, is it authentic? Is it, when someone clicks on your, let's say for example, your Facebook, as a tour operator, do they find the information that they need? If, for example, I want to travel to Nigeria, I have seen the video of people mountain climbing. Can I get that information on your social platforms or on the website? That is something that we are missing. We are not giving enough information on the social platforms, whereas we know that the young traveler is always online and they're always looking for places to go. In this current time, we might find that people are not traveling, but they are busy. They're busy looking for places to go. Where are we as young tour operators or young hospitality managers or people who are in that area? How are we providing information out there? Are we giving people information, enough information for them to create curiosity, for them to be able to come to your own country, for them to use you as their tour operator? The other thing is, I would like to say, is in the policy making. I've seen that not very many of us are involved in the policy making. Are we ready to be part of the policy making when it comes to our own tourism products? Are we ready to be able to be involved? Do we know our role when it comes to growing the tourism industry? And the other thing is, I would like to focus on digital marketing mostly, is because some of us don't know how to use the digital platforms. For example, Facebook. When you go to Facebook, when you create an ad gives you very many things. Are you being able to target the audience that you want? Are you being able to give that information in that ad? Are you being able to sell? The other thing I've seen is, how can we use videos and photos and everything that can be able to bring? Are we ready for that? As Sam said, as tour operators, we need to have very good phones, very good cameras, because we don't want to give people blurry images on your website, yet they're looking for information. For example, if I'm looking for information for wildebeest migration, or the dolphin in the Watamu, for example, at the Kenyan coast, or the whale migration now.
Thank you very much, Anne, for those interesting pointers there. I'll just pick one key question she's asked every one of us on this call today. She said, are we giving enough information to create curiosity? Are we using our digital platforms to showcase Africa? Are we improving the numbers of people interested in traveling to these interesting destinations we've listed by creating content that people can see and relate to and will want to visit these destinations? We'll come back shortly to have, solutions from our panelists on some of the key ways they think the youths can contribute, to grow tourism numbers in Africa. I see the comment session has been having lots of interesting conversations, a lot of table shaking moments have happened on this call. And I'll just read out a few ones before I take Paul's insights on this. Someone said, Geraldine says, thankfully, we're on our way to changing the narrative thanks to initiatives like the Niger 7 Wonders. Indeed, this is a step towards the right direction. Another person says, our perception challenge. Nollywood is failing us big time in that area. They should project us better and not as devilish people. Wow. I know Social Prefect was just praising Nollywood, as a good example on how we can brand and package and promote as well. The tourism industry needs to take pointers from there, but thank you for your submissions. Someone says we can do something about terrorism if we also do something about government. If we build, oops, I've lost that. Yeah, so keep your contributions coming, keep the questions as well. We'll take the questions after the panel discussions. So without wasting any more time, we'll have Paul. Paul will share with us some of his challenges as well. He has highlighted. Paul is the project officer for the Akwaaba African Travel Market, and he's also been a great part and pillar for the African Youth Tourism Conference. So Paul, please, can we have you in a very short time share with us some of the challenges you've highlighted? Thank you. Paul, can you unmute yourself? Okay, great.
Yes, I have unmuted myself. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Paul Ukachukwu, Project Manager, Akwaaba African Travel Market. I must say thank you to Mr. Ikechukwu for giving me this opportunity to be one of the panels for Akwaaba 2020 conference. Okay, the challenges we are facing as a youth in tourism and travel business in Africa, I will say that our mentality towards this course called tourism and hospitality is very, very bad. Okay, I study hotel management and tourism. Once I told someone that this is what I study in university, he will ask me, you actually go to university to study hotel management, or you go to university to study tourism? Man, it's embarrassing. People will be saying they study medicine, they study accountancy, they study pharmacy, but once you tell someone that I study hotel management, they'll be looking at you as if you don't know what you are doing. So this is one of the challenges we face in this part of the world called Africa. I don't know, especially in Nigeria here, because during my days as undergraduate in university, one professor told me that I'm wasting my time, that I see other courses I will study and I didn't do it, and I'm here studying hotel management. What am I going to achieve after it? So this is very, very challenging. Also, a lot of times, our young people will call and ask, what is this tourism all about? We need to educate young people to understand this course called tourism. We need to know what it's all about, because a lot of us don't know what tourism is all about. They will see you travel, at times they will send you a message, I want to be like you, I love what you do, all those things. But when you tell them, this is what I do, this is tourism, they will say, what is tourism? Some of them don't know what it is. So we need to do a work as young people if we actually want them to take over from the adults. And our parents need to encourage their children, our guardians need to encourage their children to go into this course called tourism and hotel management, because a lot of us are shying away from it. We are choosing medicine, pharmacy, the unknown course per se, but neglecting this one called tourism, because if we don't know what it's all about, there is not going to be an interest from the young ones. So I want to suggest that we encourage these young ones to study this into universities. Like in Nigeria here, we don't know schools that do it. We don't know schools that offer these courses in Nigeria. In other parts of the world also, this is a very lucrative course. Like in Australia, America, they value these courses, but here in Nigeria, they don't take it as anything. Okay, I will also discuss on impacts, direct impacts on COVID-19 on travel and tourism sector, especially here in Nigeria. Before now, ticket to Accra is below 100,000 naira, but due to COVID-19, it's more than 200,000 naira, and it's few people that can afford this, and it's discouraging a lot of people to travel. Also, you need to do a COVID test. If you don't have a COVID test, you will not travel, and this is such challenges that is discouraging a lot of people to travel. So this is some of the things we need to look into, that we encourage a lot of people to travel. If you want to go, let's say you want to go to Gambia now, you need to do a COVID test in Nigeria. And when you arrive there, you do another COVID test. And when you are coming back, you do another COVID test, maybe like 4 COVID tests. And this is minus your budget for your traveling. So this is one of the things we need to look into, that we encourage and bring more people to start traveling again if we can tackle these issues. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very quick and straight to the point. Paul has identified so many issues relating to the mentality, how people see tourism, how people see students who are pursuing a career or a degree in tourism. I studied tourism management, and I can actually relate to some of the things you said. I remember then in uni at Redeemers University, people would ask, so what do you guys really do? But we thank God, I mean, over the years, they've been seeing inputs, likes of so many people who are on this call have actually put tourism on the map. And a lot of people are starting to get a general idea of how lucrative the industry is and what we can gain and get out of this in terms of boosting our economy and overall growth and development of Nigeria and Africa and the rest of the world. So I see the conversation is so interesting. I've been reading some of the comments. Geraldine also mentioned availability of skilled human resources is a real challenge bedeviling the industry. Too many half-baked enthusiasts wearing the caps of professionals. Wow. So much table shaking today, and I'm so excited to be part of this presentation and this discussion. And quickly, we'll go straight into the second part of this panel discussion, where our panelists will take us through some of the solutions and some of the highlighted pointers that will guide us into recovery and discovering the role of youth basically in restoring tourism growth in Africa. So we'll go around again and we'll start with Sam once again. I hope he repairs the table that was broken initially. So Sam, Adeleke, can we have you please? We'll love you in like 2 minutes, just basically share with us solutions, the way forward in the future of tourism and how the youth can contribute to the growth of tourism in Africa. Thank you. And sorry, before Sam comes up, please keep your questions. We'll take a few of the questions after all the panelists have shared some of their solutions. I see some hands that are being raised. We'll take those questions as much as possible. Yes, Sam, over to you now.
Hello, Dein, can you please take me after the next person? I'm so sorry.
That's fine. That's fine. I understand. So let's take Carmen, if you don't mind. Will you share with us some of the solutions you've put? You know, Carmen is joining us from Namibia, and she's highlighted some of the disadvantage and some of the problems we're facing from a Namibian perspective, especially with regards to COVID and businesses in general in tourism. So Carmen, thank you.
All right. So I believe first things first, we should all remember that recovery starts with confidence. We should keep that in mind. So now, in this sector, we need to harness the power of technology. I mean, if it is to take advantage of the travelers that use technology for most of their travel arrangements and decision-making, then we as operators should invest in technology as well. And then with the world pushing towards harnessing technology as a way of life, different companies can look at creating apps, or better yet, using the existing apps like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So we need a marketing plan generally. Social media can be used as a marketing strategy. We can start blogging and vlogging all our travels. Become a travel influencer. We need new and unique activities. For example, take Zimbabwe, Lake Kariba. How about watching a movie on a flat screen while in a boat or something, you know? As long as it's unique, we should invest in things like that. We need to reinforce the beauty of Namibia and Africa to the masses. Namibia is a safari heaven, you know? We have the largest free roaming rhino population outside the parks in the world. Namibia has the largest population of cheetahs. Let's look at Kenya. Kenya is a safari heaven. It has the second highest mountain in Africa after Mount Kilimanjaro, which is also in Africa. And then it also has the world's leading safari. It is also the world's leading safari destination. So we should just reinforce that Africa is a safari heaven. Nigeria, for example, with the 7 wonders. And also I just found out that Nigeria actually has the largest diversity of butterflies. So we should just get, I don't know, think about different ways to promote Africa as a continent. And then we need to also start collaborating, you know, and give visitors a maximum African experience. So those are my thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Carmen, for those interesting thoughts. Nigeria has the largest collection of butterflies. Who knows? Carmen has told us today, are we putting this out for people to see? Are we sharing the right message across our platforms? Are we doing so much with our available resources? We'll hear more from the other panelists. Can we have Nayram, please? Nayram, Miss Tourism Ghana. Can you share with us some of the solutions you're guiding us through now? Nayram, can you unmute yourself?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so some of the solutions I have is that we need to create more credible awareness and branding for ourselves as a country, Ghana, and Africa in general. We need to, for example, we need to take good initiatives like the Year of Return initiative that Ghana came up with last year, which brought in a lot of revenue for the country. We have Beyond the Year of Return initiative, which we launched this year. These are some of the initiatives we need to take to create more awareness about our sites. We need to brand ourselves properly. We have very beautiful sites in every country in Africa. Ghana has the highest peak in West Africa. We have natural sites. We have the castles with the history of the slaves and all that. We have good things in Ghana and in other African countries that we need to brand ourselves properly to find ourselves on the tourism map, so that destination market organizations in other countries can sell us and put us on the tourism map. We need to also sell our unique selling points. Every country has a unique selling point. Example, Ghana, we can say we are a stable and friendly country. So every country needs to find their unique selling point and brand themselves properly. We should also put more measures in place to sustain our sites. And then I also put it to the government that they need
Okay, looks like
to our tourist sites. We need to sustain the sites that we have because we have them. So why are we not sustaining them? We need to sustain them to attract more people. Attraction is very important in tourism. So I believe we need to sustain our sites. We need to maintain our roads. We need to provide good access and connections to our sites. Another thing too is we need to have policies that will make our investors feel safe, because it's not like we lack the capital. I believe people have the capital to invest into the tourism sector. And why not? The tourism sector is a very profitable sector. It's just that they don't feel safe to invest into the tourism sector. So we need to have policies and measures put in place that will make the investors feel safe and push in more funds and into the sector. And finally, with the skills, because we have realized that we lack skilled personnel in the tourism sector, we need to encourage more people to take up courses in the the issue that was raised about people having certain perceptions when you say you study tourism is very common, because despite the fact that I did marketing, in my final year, I majored in tourism marketing. And people were wondering, what is in tourism that you want to market? Why tourism marketing? Will it be profitable? Are you going to get something to do in that sector? So we need to put the message out there that yes, the tourism sector is profitable. We can have things to do in the tourism sector, and we need to have education and training in that sector. Most schools need to come up with courses, start doing courses that are tourism related, so that the youth can take up these courses and we'll have skilled personnel in the tourism sector. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Miss Tourism Ghana. Really important points there. She's touched on branding, she's touched on skilled personnel for the tourism industry, awareness in general, and a lot of other issues and solutions that she's pointed us in the right direction to. Thank you so much for that. And we'll take Sam Adeleke next, if you're ready, to give us his own his own thoughts on the solution.
Okay, thank you, Dein. So I have 4 solutions, and I've categorized them into FEET, F-E-E-T. Now, the first, I believe, which I think every youth will, once you have this, it will help to really contribute to the growth of tourism in Africa, is what I call financial intelligence. Now, it's important that for the future, as we recover from the pandemic, we must learn how to save. You can't spend all the money you have. You don't want to be at the mercy of airlines, of people who are going to put you in a position whereby you're now begging and asking people for money, because you can't help people if you've not helped yourself. Save yourself first before you save your nation or your continent. And also have dollar accounts, have bank accounts. For example, there's someone on this call now who is in Zanzibar, who I'm currently having a transaction with, and we're able to make payments seamlessly because I have the resources and he has that payment system that enabled the transaction to flow very well. So it's important that we shouldn't just, when someone wants to pay you in dollars, you're running helter-skelter, telling someone to send you accounts, to give you account number or give you a dollar account. Open dollar accounts. Expect and prepare for the future that you're anticipating. It's important that as young people, we must know that we are now a global economy in which people are buying your tours online in dollars. So you should be able to have that. Don't just only price yourself in Naira only. This is very important. I remember some of my tours that I put out last week. Some people are like, Sam, you are having dollars on it, you're a big boy. Especially, I don't want to be at the mercy or the fluctuation of the Naira. So financial intelligence is important for youth as we intend to grow our economy. Because remember, Mr. Ikechi still challenges us, says he's still looking for the first tourism billionaire from Nigeria. And I believe that we can grow to that extent if we are financially intelligent. The second is education. How many of us here have diplomas? How many of us here have masters? How many of us here have MBAs? We must have tourism professionals who are PhD holders. We must have tourism professionals who are articulate, who are well learned, who talk well, who write well, who converse well, who communicate at the level of IMF, of UNESCO, of UNWTO. So these are things that we need to really, really focus on. Start from NIOTO, get certificates. There's also South Africa specialist, Kenya specialist, Dubai College of Tourism, online courses that shows that you are certified and you are competent in these things you are selling. We need more educated people in the industry. The third is exposure. Chiamaka talked about people coming together like Nollywood and all that. I respect that, but for Canada, we have NATOP, we have NANTA, we have EFTAN. Under EFTAN, there are about 30 associations spread across different organizations only. How many of us here are members? And Chiamaka is smiling. She's a member of NATO. We need young people who will not just stay on the outside clamoring for associations that are already existing. So please, don't just stay on your own and be a silo and doing solidarity forever on the streets. Join the current associations that are on ground and effect the change and grow your way up. So I also belong to Travel Massive as well, a global organization. Join Travel Massive, join SCAL. Some people believe that SCAL is an association of oldies. One day you become an oldie. Don't ever despise the old and think that because these are the gatekeepers. They are the ones who have been here since 1988, before I was born. Oh, okay, sorry, I was born before then. But then we need to start learning to dine with the fathers and the elders. Join them, work with them, learn their ways, and bring your innovation into that space. And also, don't just go for travel associations alone. Go for music associations. Go for events whereby you introduce yourself as a travel professional, so that when they're having panels, someone from the bank, someone from Agric, there should be someone from travel on that panel, volunteer to speak. This will really help us to understand how the economy works, because tourism is a multi-dimensional system in which every aspect of the economy feeds into it. So our exposure will really help us to really think well and to really contribute to its growth. Finally, is trust. You see, trust is a very huge currency which we need to build, because there's a perception that it will take time to correct, but we need to also build that trust. And what does trust mean in this industry? Because a lot of people will be like, travel agents, travel professionals, they're always duping people. They will call one price, they do another price. I don't want people to take my money away and all that. How can you build trust to grow this industry? By full disclosure. Where is your address? What is your phone number? Who knows you? Upload pictures of what you have done, where you have been. You should have references. You should have mutual friends. There should be people who should be able to vouch for you. Trust will really help people to do business with you. Of course, there are a lot of people here who you have had people send you money and they've not met you before, simply because they trust you. Simply by looking at your Instagram page, your social media page, your website, you know that, okay, this is somebody who is serious, somebody who we can trust. And I think those are my solutions for now.
Thank you very much for that very detailed outline. So he has charged us with 4 key pointers: feet, right? So yes, keep your feet on the ground and let's do this. Financial intelligence, education, upgrade your skills, make sure you're up to date knowledge-wise. It's very, very, very important. Join associations and try to build trust and mutual friends in the industry that can vouch for your businesses when people come for references. Someone just dropped in the comment section, Sam, I'm so impressed, especially the trust currency. It's good that we're having people, support some of the things our panelists are saying, even though they've been shaking tables, they were balancing the tables gradually. And I just want to thank you for that. So next we'll go to Anne in Kenya. Anne, please, can you provide some solutions to some of the problems you've highlighted in our previous discussion? Can we have Anne, please?
Hey everyone. First and foremost, the solution that I find when it comes to tourism is basically embracing the digital space. 2 months ago, the Ministry of Tourism in Kenya launched a virtual tour that basically shows whatever we're doing.
And okay, yes.
You can hear me?
Yes, go on.
Okay, I was saying that the Ministry of Tourism in Kenya launched a virtual tour live stream campaign to showcase game safaris as part of their ongoing Magic Awaits campaign. This virtual tour was meant to be able to showcase whatever Kenya is having to tourists who can't travel yet to come to Kenya, and this has been able to keep their interest high on visiting Kenya. And this is what we're saying, we need to embrace the digital space. We need to show what we are selling, we need to show them. As in, we have to have videos. Videos are really selling, and that is something very important that we should have. My second point is on developing domestic and regional tourism. That is very important. The international market is not ready to travel, and in this case, we saw, like for example, in Kenya, very many people have embraced domestic tourism. We're seeing very many people taking weekend staycations, and we've seen the entrepreneurs in the tourism industry are being able to provide packages that are affordable for the domestic traveler. Once we embrace the domestic tourism, we can be able to move regionally. We can be able to start traveling and say, let's take Kenyans to South Africa, let's take Kenyans to Nigeria. We are the solution that we need in tourism growth. We cannot always depend on the international travel. We can only depend on ourselves. At most, very many countries are opening up their borders, and we are seeing campaigns coming up for "We are ready for tourists." How are we putting information out there saying, as a Kenyan tour operator, I'm ready to host the Nigerians to come? Am I collaborating with any tour operator in Nigeria for them to be able to bring, or we can do, like, for example, an exchange program? I bring people to Nigeria, we bring people to Kenya, and we collaborate in growing tourism, not necessarily depending on the international traveler. My last point is we must re-strategize our marketing strategies. In this scenario, we're looking at overcoming the pandemic by bringing people together, tourism, and promote it solidarily. This means as Africans, we have to come together. We have to brand Africa as one. We need to have policies that enable us to travel within all the other countries. It is vital, therefore, that the restart of tourism is made priority and managed responsibly by protecting the most vulnerable, and with health and safety issues. We need to have information on the health and safety issues when it comes to travel across borders. That is all I have for now.
Thank you very much, Anne. She has charged us to do better with our digital marketing, our content creation. She's charged the government and everybody who is on this call to go back to the drawing board, search for new strategies, new ways to attract people to our destinations, and put the word out there. Tourism is now. Africa is now. I'll just take a quick comment from the chats, and then we'll take an ad before we'll come back with Mel, Paul, and Chiamaka on their final statements for us. This comment is from Zanzibar. It says, Sam, your presentation touched the class I'm taking now. So you were passing on the same line I'm teaching my staff in my office. You are great. Thank you so much for that. From Zanzibar. Interesting. We're running behind time, but we'll take the last three panelists after the adverts. Thank you.
Combination. I see people under the tambourino dancing. I guess there is a celebration. I'm the only one at home. All I want to do now is dance the wombo lumbo. So I lock up and keep Kokorola Begondo. Where do they have to? Yeah. Come see it's my picking at the Arugo de Dan Bolombo. Bombolombo. 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 Bombolombo.
Thank you very much. I'll just take this quick comment from Mr. Gabe in the chats before we'll have Paul, Mel, and round up with Chiamaka. It says, Mr. Gabe, by the way, is the chairman of the Carnival Calabar Commission in Nigeria. It says, this is awesome and I'm blown away. For me, this is the future assured. My advice, the youths must take pride in tourism and hotel management as seen here through training and skill acquisition, and ignore the stereotypes and perception issues from people as a part of the SDGs. It also says, the one who dares wins. That's a charge from us, for us all on this call from one of our bosses. The one who dares wins. Can we hear from you, Paul, please, on your solution and the way forward? After Paul, we'll have Mel, and then we'll take Chiamaka and maybe one or two questions and round up the session for today. Over to you, Paul.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you, Dein. I still maintain that education and knowledge is very, very important for us in this industry. I want to encourage young people to go into tourism and hotel management education. There's a lot of schools in Nigeria here offering that course, like Imo State University, University of Port Harcourt, Michael Okpara University of Agriculture, Umudike. And there is so many aviation schools in Nigeria you can attend and learn more about this course and learn more about tourism, learn more about hotel management. This will help us for our future. Also, I want to say that many people have said it, that we need collaboration in Africa. I want to encourage young tour operators in Africa to work together with DMOs, DMCs in Africa. Since we have identified that young people will travel, definitely they will travel. So there are our identified markets. We need to, package and create a unique package for them, which they will be appealing for young people to buy. Like tour operators in East Africa knows exact tour products that will be appealing to the young people. They will help us also there to put it together for all of us in Africa to market. In that particular weekend, everybody will be coming from all over Africa for that particular tour package. This will also help us. Like in Nigeria here, we have that every December, all these top Nigeria music artists, they have their musical events every December. So we can tie around their tour package towards that Calabar Carnival. These are some of the products the young people like to, attend to. This will help us to recover fast in our tourism sector. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Paul. He says education, education, learn, gather as many skills as possible, be informed, be educated, be up to date, and let's do better with our packaging. Let it be strategic, let it be inclusive for everybody to participate. Can we hear from you, Mel, on some of your thoughts towards your final thoughts on this topic?
Yeah, sure. Flip, I believe that everybody has summed up everything that I had prepared. So I will do what the young people normally do, and they just jump into something completely different. My solutions and my suggestions for the industry are twofold. The first one, it will be in a question format to those that are in the industry, right? We need to start asking ourselves why we are remaining small businesses if we are doing things right. Why are so many people who want to serve the industry still unemployed? Why are we not growing? Why are we stagnant? What are we doing wrong? Why are travelers running away from service providers and opting for self-planned trips? Hotels are not filling up. Airlines are going insolvent. Gyms are dilapidating. We are losing domestic traffic to overseas trips. We are segregating each other as African countries, yet we call ourselves the motherland. We have pop-ups in the industry, jack of all trades, masters of none. the tourism ecosystem is non-existent because players wear so many hats. My 14-year-old asked me one day, and she said to me, "Mommy, where I'm in the industry, in the industry that you're in, where do I specialize? What do I say to my child? Because everybody is wearing the same, like everybody is wearing everybody's hat. Can we start specializing?" The second fold, the second part of my solution, it's just 7 key things. We need to know our market. We need to understand that youth tourism, the youth is fearless. They are fearless. They, during the hard lockdown in our country, in South Africa, there even was a song, and amid the coronavirus, it goes, "Corona, Corona." It just shows you how resilient these young people are. They don't care whether COVID-19 is there or not. All they want you to do is just tell them straight up, wear a mask, wash your hands, and sanitize and keep social distancing. But they are ready to live. They are ready to travel. They have always been ready to travel. They never stopped. They are bored stiff. I am a homeschooling mom. I've been forced to homeschool mom. And which leads me to the second point. We need to redefine what youth tourism is. Being 18 to 35 is the old norm. We need to get into the new norm. I'm a mom. I have a 7-month-old. I have a 3-year-old. I have a 10-year-old. I have a 14-year-old. Now, as a mother, you can't expect me to not now travel with my child and with my children because your destination is not child friendly. Let's redefine the figures. Let's redefine the age of youth tourism. The number is huge, meaning that when we actually go full force with tourism, the numbers for youth tourism are going to be big. They are going to be overwhelming. We need to start catering for mothers who travel with their children. We need to get the red tape out of play, because children want to travel on their own. Most of us are going to go back to work and we're not going to be able to travel. Homeschooling has showed us flames in every country. All the children are sitting at home and doing nothing. And technology has been reiterated so many times. Children can learn on the go. So why are we letting red tape just make us sit back? Children are ready to travel. Let's understand our market, And the second thing is, know your speciality. Can we stop this wearing of too many hats thing? If you're a tour operator, remain a tour operator. If you're a travel blogger, remain a travel blogger. If you're a policy maker, remain that. If you're an influencer, remain that. Because then the industry just becomes congested with a whole lot of pop-ups that we really do not understand. And at the end of the day, you don't know what you're doing and giving the rest of the industry, the people that know what the industry is, you're giving us a bad name if you start doing flaws and really disappointing the people that work so hard for the money that you want them to spend on you. And put the traveler first. That's my third point. They should be at the pinnacle. Put them first. Ask them, why do you want to travel? Where do you want to travel? What do you want to see? What do you want to experience? It is safe to say that the young people, they travel because they want to volunteer. They travel for causes. In my own country, my daughter, she does neighborhood camping. We camp in the street and we address social issues such as COVID-19. The children have camped in the streets of South Africa. In the townships, they have actually camped and discussed how COVID-19 is impacting them. And it became something fruitful. And that's a product. They're being innovative. Be fearless in the industry. If this is not talking to those that are in the industry and that are operators, become the black horse of the industry. Challenge the policy. If you are going to be considered to be the person that does not support domestic tourism, then so be it. But challenge. Someone will hear you. Be different. Be unique. Redefine the youth in the youth industry. And just to close it off, I actually just prepared this. For me, the success of businesses has got nothing to do with the zeros in bank accounts and the legacies we build for our children. But the success of the industry for me is about the numbers of tangible jobs one can create and the continuity of existence for generations to come. Once we start thinking straight as an industry and put our travelers at the pinnacle of our coexistence, we guarantee that our youth in 10 years to come, post-COVID, will reap the rewards of generations of young people in the industry, be they the receivers or the givers in the industry. That is my word from South Africa.
Thank you very much, Mel, for those really, really interesting points there. Mel has charged us to be fearless, specialize, create a niche for yourself. Be fearless. If we don't take anything else from what Mel has told us today, I think we should all remember to be fearless. I know Jamie-Lee in our keynote has told us to be leaders, be innovators, be collaborators, be disruptors, be distinctly different, and be fearless. Thank you so much for that, Mel. Next person and the final panelist to give us our pointers for today will be Prefect herself. So she will give us her points, and then we'll probably take a few questions and answers, and I'll hand over to my Oga at the top for his charge and his final notes for us. So can we have you please, Social Prefect?
Okay. Hi, everyone. Oh my God, this has been amazing. Like, I've learned a lot from all the panelists. I mean, I've come here today to be a panelist. I've learned so much from everyone. Thank you so much, everyone, for all your valid and amazing points. I've been jotting down since. Okay, so basically, I'm going to share a few points of what I think the solution for youth restoring tourism growth in Africa should be. So number one, I think we need to be better storytellers, and this comes with the problem I talked about before. So if you just join, I'll just run through like the problems I talked about, which are poor infrastructure and road networks. That's for the government, negative perception, lack of branding and promotion, and lack of branding. So thank you so much, Mohammed from Zanzibar. He was our tour operator when we went to Zanzibar in 2018, and it was an amazing tour. So if you want to go to Zanzibar in Tanzania, please just go with them. Sorry, Mr. Ikechi, for this unpaid advert.
Who invoice you?
Sorry. Okay, so we need to be better storytellers. Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, for those who do not know her, she's the famous writer of Purple Hibiscus, Half of a Yellow Sun, and the one who has done Africa proud. She's like Africa's great daughter. She talks about the danger of a single story, and a single story has been told about Africa, a single story has been told about Nigeria, a single story of poverty, single story of corruption, single story of terrorism, single story of not being, good. But we as African tour operators, we as African, tourism enthusiasts have to come together and tell a better story about our countries. Nigeria, for example, I mean, you all saw that beautiful presentation, that advert that was put together by Nigeria 7 Wonders of the tour that is going to happen. And did you see all the amazing places that were listed? That is just 1/4 of the, great tourist destinations that we have in Nigeria and in Africa. We have beautiful sites, beautiful things to promote. And it's not just about the sites. Tourism goes beyond sites. Tourism is also food. Tourism is also culture. Tourism is also entertainment, arts, and everything that comes together to bring tourism together, basically. And we have to tell better stories about our country. We have to use our social media well. Use your social media to, talk about great sites in your country. Use your social media to tell great stories about your country. And it all comes to branding. We all have to come together to solve this branding problem. So too, I'll just go straight to collaboration. A lot of us have talked about collaboration, and I'll still talk about collaboration. African tour operators need to collaborate more to promote intra-African travel. You know, for intra-African travel to grow, we need to collaborate more. So how will Mel, for example, in South Africa work with me in Nigeria? That's collaboration. I'm not talking about, you know, Sam's collaboration that I was talking about now, where like a lazy upcoming tour operator comes to you and wants you to do all the work and is leaving all the work to you. And that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, you know, people who both equally know what they are bringing to the table and have something, you know, like important to bring to the table, coming together and pushing African tourism forward. That's what we need. That's what we need more than ever right now. We need more collaboration. I mean, like, how can we push intra-African travel? How can we get people to travel from Zimbabwe to South Africa, from South Africa to Nigeria, to Kenya, to Rwanda, to Namibia, to, you know, like Mauritius, to Tanzania, and all other African countries? How can we get that to happen? It's by collaborating. So we definitely need to collaborate more to push intra-Africa travel forward. That's number 2. Number 3, let's talk about personal branding. So as a youth tour operator, as a young tour operator, what is your personal brand? So do you know that people actually buy more, they actually buy more because they like you and because they trust you, rather than because you're presenting something to them. So people actually buy from people that they like. It's just psychology with buying and selling. It's psychology of sales, psychology of marketing. Like, we need to study marketing more. We need to know why people buy from us, you know, and we need to build our personal brands. Apart from your tour company, like, what can be said about you as a person? We all know Mr. Ikechi. Apart from Akwaaba, he has his own personal tourism brand. He has his own personal brand that makes us, you know, like him and gravitate towards him, that makes him get jobs, that makes him, you know, that you think it's because they like his company that they are coming to. It's because they like him personally, what he has to personally offer. So we all have to have something to offer personally, you know, like, what can be said about your personal brand? Why should people buy from you, you know? So as young tour operators, we need to build our personal brands and we need to be reputable. You know, Sam talked about trust. I believe trust is very important. People need to trust you. People need to trust your brand. And when they trust your brand, trust me, they'll definitely, you know, gravitate towards you, buy from you, you know, like, come on your trips and whatnot. Then we also need to importantly talk about mentorship. I'm going to break Sam's table now. Sam talked about a young tour operator coming to you and saying that, you know, that they need your help. I mean, why not help them? I'm not talking about the lazy ones. I know he mentioned, you know, like the lazy ones that have nothing to offer and will come to you and want you to do all the work. They want you to put the package together. They want you to call the airline. They want you to call the airline, they want you to call the DMC in the other country, they want you to basically do everything and bring the package together, and all they will do is just tag along. I'm not talking about those type though. Mentorship is so important, and I will go again to Mr. Ikechi. I mean, he's my mentor in the tourism industry, and without him, I don't think I'll be where I am. I mean, he's put me in place and spoken about me in rooms full of opportunities, and that's because he knows the value I have to offer, and also that's because of, you know, like, learning from his feet. That's because it's just, mentorship is important. I mean, like, I don't think I'll be where I am today if he has not taught me a lot of things that he has taught me, you know, he has not given me the advice. So I think mentorship in the tourism industry is important. There are a lot of young people coming up right now, and they need us, the, you know, slightly experienced ones, you know, to teach them what to do and where to go. They need us to teach them, you know, like, the next level. I know a lot of people come to my DMs, come to me, you know, to mentor them, and I've not been able to take in everyone, but as much as possible, I try to give advice. As much as possible, I try to help whoever I can help. So I think it's up to all of us who are, you know, like, tour operators that have gone a bit far in the industry to help mentor others, you know, like, the burden cannot be on only one person. It's like it cannot be all of us mentors. So we have to spread it amongst ourselves and try to mentor the upcoming ones. I mean, that's why they would be able to do great. That's why we have a lot of, forgive me for using this word, shabby upcoming tour operators now. You go to their page and all you see is borrowed pictures. They haven't done the work. They haven't put in the work. Yeah, also Neil just raised the point now that we have to be able to differentiate between a protege and a leech. I know the leeches out there, so you have to use your own wisdom to be able to differentiate between someone who wants to come to learn from you and someone who is just a leech. I know there are leeches out there, but to be honest, even if you help a leech, I remember someone in the industry, I don't think I'll mention the name anyways, but she helped someone who wants to start her own tour business, and she brought her in as an intern. I mean, why can't you do that? Do you know that if you give and give and give, all you're going to do is receive, and you're going to receive good things. Like, if you're a giver, I don't think like taking away from you or using your own light to bless another person would dim your own light. Instead, it will only increase your own light. You know, shining light on other people does not mean your own light will get dimmed. A lot of people confuse that. You think that when you help somebody else that it takes away from you. No, it only adds positively to you. So I think we should definitely learn to help others that are coming up in industry. That is how we will all grow, and that's how they will respect this industry. You know, nowadays everybody's calling themselves a tour operator. You go to Instagram, I don't know about other countries, you know, but in Nigeria, oh my God, if you go on Instagram, you see these tours, these travels, these tours, this adventure, this lifestyle, so many tour operators, and many of them are not really putting in the work. So many of them actually don't know what to do. They don't know how to go about it. So how can we help them? Mentorship. Mentorship is very key in both ways, being mentored and then also being, you know, like a mentor to other people. And then another point I'll go to is offer great customer service and excellent products and services. You know, we're basically a service industry. We have to offer excellence in whatever we're doing. You know, like what makes you different, what makes you stand out, and eventually what will make your customers tell other people about you. It is the kind of great customer service and excellent service that you offer to your customers. Why would they want to come on your trips? Why, I'm talking to tour operators now. I mean, why would they want to come on your trips? Why would they want to tell other people about you? It's the excellence that you offer. Always go overboard for your customers. Sometimes I've actually cut my profit short, not sometimes, a lot of times, to please my customers. Not because I don't know what I'm doing, but because I know that I'm going to definitely reap the benefits, you know, later. And I have definitely reaped the benefits of that. You know, people are always talking about tours to other people because we go overboard for our customers. It's better to under-promise and over-deliver than to do the opposite. So always under-promise but over-deliver. Don't come and tell them that, oh my God, you're going to see 7 waterfalls and they only see 4, or you're going to see, or you're going to eat jollof rice, fried rice, spaghetti, beans, and at the end of the day, you only serve them one tiny puff. You know, you have to offer great customer service. You have to tell them what they are going to come and see, and make sure that that is what really, you know, make sure that that is really what they are going to experience from the tour service that you're offering. Make sure that your value offering and what you bring to your clients, what you advertise, is really what you do. In fact, don't tell them everything you're going to do, but surprise them. You know, always put that surprise element for your clients. So that's about great customer service. And to round up, I'm just going to talk to the government. And in talking to the government, I'm also talking about the youth. So the government needs to put on better infrastructure. You know, in my problems, I talked about infrastructure, and I talked about how there are infrastructure and bad road networks. So the government definitely needs to do better in that light. I'm not going to say more than that. And then also they need to create policies. And how does the youth come into this? So the youth, as Sam mentioned earlier, need to go into government to influence policies that affect tourism. So a lot of us here now, we have to go into government. I don't know about me personally. I remain in the tourism industry, but for a lot of youth here that are passionate about governance, are passionate about policies. Sam, I put it up to you. I think you're one that is very passionate about policies and government. I'm going to the government and make us proud, you know, put those policies for us there, you know, like influence those policies for us, and influence those policies that affect tourism. That's how I think the youth can play a role in you know, affecting tourism when it comes to the government. So I've given 5 points now. I've said we need to collaborate more. We need to be better storytellers, especially when it comes to branding. We need to also, then when it comes to our personal branding, why should people buy from you? Also, when it comes to personal branding, like many of us have mentioned here, please take great pictures and put them up on your social media, on the places you go to. Do your own homework. Go to those places first before you take people as much as it's possible. Don't just borrow pictures from Google, shabby pictures, and put on your social media and say, follow me to this place. Try and do your own homework. And then mentorship is key. Try and find a mentor in the industry and also be a mentor to other people. And then finally, last but not the least, offer great customer service and excellent service to your customers. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me, Mr. Ikechi.
Thank you so much for your contribution. I think that was a very great way to wrap up the discussions of the day. Chiamaka has finally broken the table. She has herself and Sam and Mel and Nayram and every other person who has contributed today have dropped some very, very insightful points for us. And they've dropped some great, how do we say, they've dropped wisdom. They've given us wisdom of the day, and it's it's been an interesting session being your host. I know there's a question we're going to take, but I'll hand over a bit quickly to Mr. Ikechi, my Oga at the top, is the name that everybody has been mentoring, our mentor, our tourism daddy, and it's been a lot and everything to us. So I'll hand over to him. I'm sure he has something to say to us, and then I'm not sure if we still have that question, but yes, thank you so much to all the panelists, to Jamie-Lee, our keynote, and everyone who has contributed to the discussions of the day. Over to you, sir.
I was saying yesterday during the MICE conference that I missed the hug, I missed I can't download Braille, I can't have Yamachoma. But today, it didn't look like I missed anything. I'm seeing my sister Tinuke says fire and thunder. There is a lot of fire going on here.
Yes.
So this was amazing. But I want to say some things. A lot of people called my name, and I want to say this. I was at an IATA conference in Ghana. I was one of the panelists with Seychelles, Ellen St. Ange, and somebody complained that, oh, some people who think they are dead do not want to collaborate. He was talking about me. And my response was, I'm doing Accra Ways Up, and I'm collaborating with African World Airlines. I'm collaborating with hotels. I'm collaborating with GTA. Now, I needed those partnerships, so I go out of my way to collaborate with them. Now, you that want to collaborate with me and is complaining that I'm not collaborating, what are you offering? What are you bringing to the table? You want us to add you as a partner to Accra Ways Up, but you bring nothing. You want to piggyback? Then pay for it, one way or another. So a lot of people have to bring something to the table. Now, if you don't have anything and you need people to move you on, then your attitude is important. Dein knows that quite a lot of people, I'll say I like this person, but she has a bad attitude. And I walk away because I'm asking for nothing. I'm trying to help push you on in any way I can. But once your attitude is wrong, then there is nothing, I don't stand to benefit personally from you. I know God will reward me. But if you have a wrong attitude, and I'll tell you the attitude that get people into trouble. A lot of young people suffer from infantile grandiosity. Please Google that. They suffer from infantile grandiosity, right? A lot of them have issues of narcissism. They think the world revolves around them. Yeah, they think they own the world. So Mr. Ikechi has to talk to me. I owe you nothing. You know how I got on? I plodded the streets of Lagos. I started with photocopied letterhead. I paid a price. But I said to myself that because God has helped me survive, I should not let other people go through that. So in any which way I can help young people, I will. And that has been my policy. So some people think they own the world, so I owe them. I owe you nothing. I pay my price, I do my work, I move on. I said to one young man today, I said, look, there is a reason Akwaaba is the only global tourism product out of Nigeria that has never advertised on CNN. That the other global products, which are for Osho-Oshogo, Kano Doba, Wakana, and Akwaaba. The other, Calabar Carnival has advertised, Wakana has run ads, Osho-Oshogo has run ads. Akwaaba has never run any international ad. But we're a global brand. That there are some things we did right, and it starts from humility. Don't ever think you're bigger than you are. Don't put yourself too forward. You will fall. So some of these are basic lessons that people need to learn. There's a reason I'm still here. There's a reason we have gone all through that. So people need to learn. You have to bring something to the table. I remember Sam asking me, oh, I need this contact. I said, Sam, it pays you to go to these places, meet them, build the contact. And why do we do a face-to-face project? We do exhibitions so people can build trust in people. If I look you in the eye, you cannot lie to me. I will know when you're lying. But if I only see you just like this, you could be hiding some things, you could be hiding a gun under, and I wouldn't know. So you need to build trust, like Sam said. I'm impressed with all the ideas coming from everywhere. People need to mentor people, yes. And I'm pushing as many people as I can. And I'll tell you why. When you see Wolosho Inka and you see Chinua Achebe, there are so many people who had benefited from their wisdom, and they hold them up there. When you see some politicians, I don't want to name them, you see people who they had helped on. So I want the time that I retire, there'll be a whole lot of people who will say, oh, this guy helped me on, that guy helped me on, and they can pass it on to other people. So I agree with Chiamaka that no matter where you are, you can give help to some other person. But they need to have the right attitude. They need to stop that sense of entitlement, Mel. And I see it all the time. People who think they are big, they are something. And when I was their age, I was bigger, and I kept a humble spirit. So I think I need to leave you with this. And I've also learned lessons listening to you all. And I know that we missed this face-to-face meeting, and we will have it next year. But for those that can join us in Abuja, that will be our first line event. I know Dein will not be there, so don't bother. She can watch us on Zoom. So we'll congregate and meet again. Thank you for joining us today. So I hand over to Dein, and she can round up.
Thank you very much, sir, for that, for the wisdom. I'm sure when I say wisdom, the youths here, they understand. Wisdom, we're about to shout, don't leave me. Don't leave us. But thank you so much, sir. We can't stop learning. We're learning every day. I'll just take I think I've only seen one hand who was indicated for a question. Madam Shalom of Travel Lab Uyo. So I will take her. She can please unmute herself. And yes, I'm not sure if it's a question or a contribution, but we'll hear shortly. And after her, we can round up this wonderful session. So Madam Shalom, over to you. Please, can we unmute Madam Shalom, please? Okay.
Have I been unmuted?
Yes, you have.
Okay, thank you, Dan. Thank you, everyone. I mean, this was as if I was, like what Ikechi said, it was as if I was present in like last year, it's as hot as that of last year. So you guys have done so great. Sam, so much to learn. Chiamaka, thank you for coming up with mentorship. The young people should get mentored by other people. Chiamaka, you can mentor some of them. Sam, you can also help in mentoring them, please. But I want to say that this has been very great, very inspiring, very educative. You guys are so great. Thank you, Oga Ikechi, for this. God bless you. God bless everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you so much for your kind words. There's somebody else whose hand is raised, but because you've not renamed yourself, I do not know who that is. So can you just kindly unmute yourself and let's hear you. That will be the last comment we'll take or question, and then we can wrap up. So please unmute yourself.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Mayowa. I'm so sorry that it's not named. I have a question for the panelists. First of all, thank you so much for such an insightful session. A lot has been said. And the question I have is regarding policies. I know there's a lot of talk about government and what the government needs to do. En route being in government in that space. And I wanted to ask specifically for policies that we would like to see, apart from security and the road networks, what sort of policy for the people who are currently operating in the industry, what sort of policy would we say we really need to see the industry move forward in Nigeria? So it's open to anyone. Anyone can go ahead and answer.
Okay, thank you, Mayowa. Who wants to take it? Sam, do you want to do you want to tackle that question? So we'll just quickly take, oh, we need to unmute Sam. Take that and then we can wrap up.
Okay, I'm sorry, I was on a call, so I didn't hear the question. Can you please just rephrase for me, please?
Okay, she was asking about some of the policies we're asking the government to make in favor of the youth and encourage tourism in general. So what are some of those policies? I think she's on a path to that, and she's interested in governance or in that light. Yeah, so she wants to know some of those policies. If you could just run through a few of them.
A whole lot of policies, and Nigeria is not bereft of policies. We have lots of policies. We have the national plans that were in the 60s and 70s. We have the constitution. We have acts that are being enacted every other time. But actually, it's about execution and about implementing them and getting the right leadership to make it happen. So what I will really focus on is getting the right leaders and getting people who really understand the core of the business. For example, policies on visas, visa on arrival, ensuring that it's not difficult for even Nigerians outside the country, African Americans, Nigerian Americans, British Americans, they find it difficult to even get visas from the different countries where they're flying in. So lots of policies, expanded also about policies on power, infrastructure, decentralizing it such that just the way we have telecoms, in which we have private companies, Glo, MTN, we should also be able to have private companies that generate power to help and sustain these sites that need constant power. So it's not so much about the policies, but about having people who will have the political will to execute them. For Nigeria, it's about execution. That's really is the core. So we having people who will have the will, the boldness, people who will not mind what people think and say about them, people who are not just bootlickers and people who want to be men of the masses, but people who can really take decisions that will really help us grow. So it's not about policies, really, it's about leadership and the will to do and execute it.
Thank you so much, Sam. On that note, we've come to the end of this wonderful session of the African Youth in Tourism discussions, and it's been a pleasure being your host. I want to say a big thank you again to all our panelists, all the dignitaries that have joined from around the world, our keynote speaker, Jamie-Lee Abtar, and every other person who's been active in the chats and have been spreading word on social media and all the other platforms. I want to say a big thank you to you for making this happen, and hopefully by the grace of God, next time we'll be meeting physically. We could share hugs and laughter and drinks and after party and party after party and yeah, just celebrate some of the achievements that have come out of these discussions. The organizers will share details on how you can have how you can rewatch the clips. But in the meantime, I'm signing out from me, and thank you so much for joining us. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a lovely afternoon. Thank you.